מה טובו עליך יעקב משכנותיך ישראל מה טובו עליך יעקב משכנותיך
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome everyone to our service. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. How good and how pleasant it is when friends, when family sits together. And this is also true when we join together for our online services, forming a holy community in a different way than we are used to. But still, we hope it is meaningful to all of you. So welcome, Shabbat Shalom. We will begin our service with the blessings for our body and our soul. So just dive in, recognize the miracles around you. Shabbat Shalom.
There is grace that every dawn renews, a loveliness making every morning fresh. We will endure, we will prevail, we, the children of hope, children of the one who crowds the heavens with stars, endows the earth with glory, and fills the mind with wonder.
Baruch atah Adonai, rofei kol basar mafli la'asod. Blessed are you, Eternal One, who heals all flesh, working wondrously.
Elohai, Elohai, Neshamah, Shenatata bi Tehorai. Elohai, Elohai, Neshamah.
We turn to page 198 with to read the Nisim B'chol Yom, these blessings for the daily miracles that surround us each and every moment of our lives. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lach sedi bina lehavrin ben yom uben laila.
Amen. Baruch אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם פוקח עברים.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם מתיר עשורים.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם זוקף כפופים.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם רוקה הארץ על המים.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם המכין מצעדי גבר.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם מלביש ארומים.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם הנותן לעייף כוח.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם המעביר שינה מעיני ותנומה מעפעפי.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשני בצלם אלוהים.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשני בן חורים.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשני ישראל.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם עוזר ישראל בגבורה.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם עוטה ישראל בתפארה.
Amen. Please turn to page 212 in our Sidurim. And by the way, if you have not a physical book in front of you, our Mishkan Tefillah is available as an online edition, as a flip book. The link is just below here. It is tiny.cc and then /Mishkan. So you can all join in the reading. You can browse through the book also at different times during the week. It is a wonderful source for blessings, for readings, for just letting our souls go on a journey through the prayers of our traditions. Page 212 opens the Pesukei de Simra, the verses of praise. Baruch Shema v'haya ha'olam.
Baruch
Baruch Hozeh v'hereshit.
Baruch Shemo.
Baruch Omer v'oseh.
Baruch
Baruch Gozer u'mekayem.
Baruch Shemo.
Baruch Ma'achem al ha'aretz.
Baruch
Baruch Ma'achem al ha'briot.
Baruch Shemo.
Baruch Meshalem Zachatov li're'av.
Baruch
Baruch ha'ela'ad v'kayam lanetzach.
Baruch Shemo.
Baruch podeh u'matzil.
Baruch Shemo.
With songs of praise we exalt you and proclaim your sovereignty, for you are the source of life in the universe. One God, life of the universe. Praise is praise and glory, glorious ruler. Your name is eternal.
Baruch atah Adonai, melech mehulal batishpachot.
And we continue with the psalm for Shabbat, Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat, on page 214 by our choir.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, בלילות. עלי עשור ועלי נעבר, עלי היגיון בחינוך, בחינוך. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
כי שימחתני
שימחתני אדוני בכל טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
A psalm, a song for Shabbat. It is good to praise God, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night, with a 10-string harp, with voice and lyre together. You have gladdened me by your deeds. O God, I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Eternal One, how very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, and a fool cannot understand this.
The righteous bloom like a date palm. They thrive like a cedar in Lebanon, planted in the Eternal One's house. They flourish in our God's courts. In old age they still produce fruit. They are full of sap and freshness, attesting that God is upright, my rock, in whom there is no wrong.
And we have now Gidi leading us in the Ashrei. Happy are those who dwell in your house, for they forever praise you. Gidi.
Page 215. Ashrei. Ashrei yoshvei veitecha. Od yahallelucha sela. Ashrei ha'am shekacha lo. Ashrei ha'am she'Adonai Elohai. Tehillah leDavid arumimcha. Elohai hamelech va'avracha shimcha le'olam va'ed. B'chol yom avrachecha. V'hallela shimcha le'olam va'ed. Gadol Adonai mehular me'od. Ugdulato ein cheke. Dor ledor yeshabach ma'asecha. Ugvurotecha yagidu. Hadar kavod hodecha. V'divrei niflotecha asicha. Ve'ezuz norotecha yomeru. Ugdulatecha asaprena. Zecher rav tova yabiu. V'tzidkatcha yeranenu. Chanun v'rachum Adonai. Erech apayim ugdal chesed. Tov Adonai locho. V'rachamav al kol ma'asav. Yoducha Adonai kol ma'asecha. V'chasidecha yevarchucha. Kavod malchutcha yomeru. Ugvuratecha yedaberu. Lehodia lifnei ha'adam gevurotav. Uchavod hadar malchuto. Malchutcha malchut kol olamin. Umemshaltecha b'chol dor v'dor. Somech Adonai lechol hanuflim. V'zochef lechol hakfufim. Einei kol elecha yesaberu. V'ata noten lahem et ochlam be'ito. Potech et yadecha. Umasbia lechol chai ratzon. Tzadik Adonai b'chol derachav. V'chasid b'chol ma'asav. Karov Adonai lechol korav. Lechol asher yikra'u be'emet. Ratzon yire'av ya'aseh. Va'et shavatam yishma v'yoshi'el. Shomer Adonai et kol ohavav. Va'et kol hasha'im yashmit. Tehillat Adonai yedaber pi. V'varech kol basar shem kodsho leolam va'ed. Va'anachnu nevarech ya. Me'ata va'ad olam. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah, 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 el berkocho. Hallelujah, hallelujah, pikia ozo. Hallelujah, bigurota. Hallelujah, kero.
Let the soul of everything alive bless your name, eternal our God, and the spirit of all flesh glorify and exalt your name forever, O sovereign. Transcending space and time, you alone are God. We have no sovereign besides you. God of the first and the last, God of all creatures, God of all generations, who is praised in a multitude of praises, who guides the world with abundant loving kindness, and all creatures with mercy. The Eternal One neither slumbers nor sleeps. God awakens the sleeping, arouses those who slumber, gives speech to the mute, and God loosens the bond of captives, supports the fallen, and strengthens those who are bent over. You alone do we acknowledge. On page 222, we have this short moment where we reaffirm that God is sovereign and that all our praises belong to the eternal. O God, in the power of your strength, great in the glory of your name, mighty forever, awesome in amazing deeds, the ruler, the sovereign, who sits on a high and exalted throne. Shochen ad maharom, vekadosh shemo, vechatuv anenu tzadikim b'Adonai, layasharim na'ava tehillah, befi yesharim tithalal, uvdivrei tzadikim titbarach, ובלשון חסידים תדרומם, ובקרב קדושים תתקדש, ובקלות רבבות עמך בית ישראל, ברינה יתפאר שמך מלכנו בכל דור ודור. שמך לעד מלכנו, האל המלך הגדול והקדוש, בשמיים ובארץ. כי לך נאה אדוני אלוהינו, ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, שיר שבחה, הלל וזמרה, עשו ממשלה נצח. גדולה וגבורה, תהילה ותפארת, קדושה ומלכות, ברכות והודאות, מעתה ועד עולם. ברוך אתה אדוני, אל מלך גדול בתשבחות, אל ההודעות אדון הנפלאות, הבוחר בשירי זמרה, מלך אלוהי העולמים. We are on page 228, the first blessing before the Shema, which then is followed by the praise or the affirmation of God's love to us, followed then by the Shema. Page 228. Praised are you, eternal our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of light and darkness, Yotzei or uvorei choshech, who makes peace and fashion all things. In mercy you illumine the world and those who live upon it. In your goodness you daily renew creation. How numerous are your works, O God! In wisdom you form them all, filling the earth with your creatures. Be praised, eternal our God, for the excellent work of your hands, and for the lights you created. May they glorify you. Shine in your light upon Zion, that we all may swiftly merit its radiance. O Chadash al Zion ta'ir v'nizkei chulanu mehera le'oro.
Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMeorot.
Ahavah Rabbah haftanu, Adonai Eloheinu, chemla gedola v'techa, chamalta aleinu. Ba'avu avoteinu, ba'avu imoteinu, Shabbat rovecha, vatlamdem chokei chaim. Ken techonenot lamdenu, hamrachem rachem aleinu. V'ten belibenu lehavin ol haskel lishmoa, lilmod ol lelamed, lishmo vela'asod, ulekayem et kol divrei Talmud Toratecha be'Ahavah.
ונהריננו בתורתך, ודבק ליבנו במצוותיך, ויחד לבבנו לאהבה וליראה את שמך. ונהריננו בתורתך, ודבק ליבנו במצוותיך, ויחד לבבנו לאהבה וליראה את שמך. ולא נבוש, ולא ניכלם, ולא ניכשל לעולם ועד. ולא נבוש, ולא ניכלם, ולא ניכשל לעולם ועד. בתורתך, ודבק ליבנו במצוותיך, ויחד לבבנו לאהבה וליראה את שמך.
Love your neighbor as yourself, you said. And light blinded we saw that inner and outer worlds are one, as you are one. You spoke and we roached for you down the centuries, your light moving before us as we climbed, fell back and climbed again, your Sinai of life. Baruch atah Adonai habocher ba'amo Yisrael be'Ahavah. Blessed are you, Eternal One, who chooses your people Israel in love.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod, Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. You shall love the Eternal One your God with all your soul and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them be a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. The Eternal One said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelite people and instruct them to make for themselves fringes on the corners of their garments throughout the ages. Let them attach a cord of blue to the fringe at each corner. That shall be your fringe. Look at it and recall all God's commandments and observe them, so that you do not follow your heart and eyes in your lustful urge. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am your eternal God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am your eternal God. Adonai Elohim Emet."
Emet. Thank you to Leslie Shipton for sending us the recording of the Shema, wonderfully read. Thank you. We're on page 239. The eternal truth. The eternal truth is that you alone are God and there is none else.
May the righteous of all nations rejoice in your love and exult in your justice.
Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks.
Let nation not lift up sword against nation, nor learn war any more.
You shall not hate your brother or your sister in your heart.
The stranger that lives amongst you shall be accepted as your equal, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt.
Why do you crush my people and oppress the poor, asks God.
We know that the Eternal One defends the poor and upholds the rights of the needy.
Praise to God Most High.
Blessed is God and deserving of blessing.
Mi Chamochah ba'elim Adonai, mi Chamochah nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef ele, nora tehilot osef ele. Malchutcha ra'u banecha, pokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, zeli anu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed.
As we now turn to the Amidah, we invite the Eternal to join us on our spiritual journey from room to room, from generation to generation. We're on page 240, the Amidah itself is on page 242 and the following pages. Rock of Israel, rise in support of Israel and redeem Judah and Israel as you promised. Our Redeemer Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Blessed are you, Eternal One, who redeems Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ka'al Yisrael.
Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi yaditeinatecha. Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi yaditeinatecha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avoteinu, ve'Elohei Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah.
האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה.
מלך עושה ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה.
אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריח השמש ומוריד הטל. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. זומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים. חייהם אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות אתה להחיות הכל.
ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה את זה ואמר, קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות מלוך כל הארץ כבודו. אדיר אדירנו אדוני אדוננו, ואדיר שמך בכל הארץ. ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, מרחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון לדור ודור. הללויה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריתונם, ביני ובין בני ישראל. אותי לעולם, כי
We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat which unites us in faith and hope, for Shabbat holiness which inspires sacred living, for Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness, for Shabbat peace born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessing, O God. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu be'amcha Yisrael, u'tfilatam me'ahavah tekabel, u'tfilei ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael.
ועל כולם יתברך ויתרומם שמך מלכנו תמיד לעולם ועד. For all these things, O Sovereign, let your name forever be praised and blessed. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shemcha ulecha na'eh lo hodot.
Sim shalom, tova uvracha, ken v'chesed v'rachamim v'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yisrael amecha. Archeinu avinu kol anu ke'echad, ve'od panecha, ki od panecha netata lanu, Adonai Eloheinu. Sim shalom. Merachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael amecha. Torat chaim v'ahavat chesed tzedakah u'recha v'rachamim v'chaim v'shalom. Sim shalom tova uvracha, ken v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol shalom, tova uvracha, ken v'chesed v'rachamim v'rachamim, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yisrael, Amecha.
We have a short moment for our private prayers and thoughts. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my rock and my Redeemer. Thank you to our choir. I agree with Taryn that it is so beautiful to hear our choir from far away, from a different location, but still it feels like we're back together in our sanctuary and we listen to the choir and to the words of ancient old. We now turn towards our Torah reading for this Shabbat. It is the concluding two parashiot of the book of Vayikra, Leviticus, and it is an interesting collection of thoughts that are presented to us. It begins with a very interesting concept, the concept of the Jubilee year, the Shabbat year, and then the Jubilee year. So we have two interesting ideas, so that every 7 years the land needs to rest, and every 50 years is a special year where not only the land gets rest, but also where ownership is returned to the original owner. This is what we will hear in my Torah reading in just a moment. And then we turn to the second parasha. We have a double parasha, a double portion for this Shabbat. And there we turn to perhaps the sealing of a corpus of laws and instructions and of ideas. And in ancient times, those sealings were usually done with an idea of, if you do, then everything will be nice. And if you don't, and then comes a long list of things that will happen to you if you not obey the commandments. So this is perhaps a harsh conclusion of a book which we regard as one of the centerpieces also in our ethical understanding, that it comes with the idea that a very harsh punishment if you don't obey. And perhaps we think this is not ethical in the way we would understand today how we want that laws are implemented and followed. But when we look into today's situation with the lockdown, also the consequences that are told us if we not adhere to them are quite harsh. And remember, the consequences might not really directly on us, but on the people that surround us. So if we are by somehow affected or infected with the COVID-19 virus, the coronavirus, and we spread it, the consequences might not be directly for us in the way that we will get sick. We can just be the transmitter, but perhaps people that are dear to us will be affected and get serious ill or even die. So sometimes the words of the Torah sound very harsh, but if you translate it into the reality of today, you will see that it is not that far away from reality, exactly. So what we will do now is we will give our choir again a short moment so that they can lead us into the formal reading of the Torah. We will have the blessing of the Torah study, and we will have a short reading from the Torah, and then I will try to give you some other thoughts about a very interesting word we will find in the second part of the Torah, in the second reading for today in Bechukotai. So first, our choir with Ein Chamochah.
Ein Chamochah Elohim Adonai,
Ten Kemasecha,
Malchutecha Malchut Kol Olamim, U'Memshaltecha Bechol Dor Vador.
Adonai Melech, Adonai Malach, Adonai Yimloch, Le'olam Va'ed.
Adonai Oz Le'amo Yiten, Adonai Yevarech et Amo V'Shalom.
Lecha Adonai, Abdullah ve'Al-Korah, ve'Ativeret, ve'Anetzach, ve'Hod, ki ho b'shamayim u'haaretz. Lecha Adonai, Ha'mamlacha, le'amid naseh, lechol erosh.
Here we are. The blessing for the Torah study is la'asok b'divrei Torah, and it means really to take up and to look into the secrets behind the words Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam
אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו לעסוק בדברי תורה.
I'm going to read from you the beginning of chapter 25 in Leviticus. If you have a plowed, we're on page 850. There's also the link so that you can read the translation and in the Hebrew by itself online on Sfaria, and just put in tiny.cc/Torah-reading, and then you will get directly to Leviticus 25 at the beginning of Parashat Behar Bechukotai. וידבר אדוני אל משה בהר סיני לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, כי תבואו אל הארץ אשר אני נותן לכם, ושבת הארץ שבת לאדוני. The Eternal One spoke to Moses on Mount Sinai, "Speak to the Israelite people and say to them, when you enter the land that I assign to you, the land shall observe a Sabbath for the Eternal, of the Eternal." So very interesting, here's the idea is when you settle in the land of Israel. So the people of Israel are about really to enter the land, and therefore there is an idea that when they cross the river, then they need to observe the following laws, and therefore the Shabbat here is observed only in the land of Israel and not in the diaspora. Even this would be perhaps a wonderful idea in keeping the environment more healthy. Verse 3. שש שנים תזרע שדך, ושש שנים תזמור כרמך, ואספת את תבואתה, ובשנה השביעית שבת שבתון יהיה לארץ, שבת לאדוני. זרעך לא תזרע, וחמך לא תזמור, את צביях, קצירך לא תקצור, ואת ענבי נזריך לא תבצור, שנת שבתון יהיה לארץ. והייתה שבת הארץ לכם לאוכלה, לך ולעבדיך ולאמתך ולזכירך ולתושביך הגרים עמך, ולבהמתך ולחיה אשר בארצך, תהיה כל תבואתה לאכול. 6 years it says, you may sow your field, and 6 years you may prune your vineyard and gather in the yield. But in the 7th year, the land shall have a Sabbath of complete rest, a Sabbath of the Eternal. You shall not sow your field or prune your vineyard. You shall not reap the aftergrowth of the harvest or gather the grapes of your untrimmed vines. It shall be a year of complete rest for the land. But you may eat whatever the land during its Sabbath will produce, you, your male and female slaves, your hired and bound laborers who live with you, and your cattle and your beasts in your land may eat all its yield. So there we have again the social aspect, that it is not a law only for an elite or for a special group, but actually that this laws affects everyone who is living amongst the Israelites, and also that what the land still produces, because you all observe, even if you leave a field just by itself, it still will produce something. But this is then not for your benefit alone, but it needs to be shared with everyone who is living around you and with you. In verse 8, we jump to the next idea, the Jubilee year. וספרת לך שבע שבתות שנים, שבע שנים, שבע פעמים, והיו לך ימי שבע שבתות השנים, 49 שנה, והעברת שופר תרועה בחודש השביעי, בעשור לחודש, ביום הכיפורים תעבירו שופר בכל ארצכם, וקידשתם את שנת 50 שנה, וקראתם דרו בארץ לכל יושביה, יובל היא תהיה לכם, ושבתם איש אל אחוזתו, ואיש אל משפחתו תשובו. יובל היא שנת 50 שנה תהיה לכם, לא תזרעו ולא תקצרו את ספיחיה, ולא תבצרו את נזריה, כי יובל היא קודש תהיה לכם מן השדה, תאכלו את תבואתה. משנת היובל הזאת תשובו איש אל אחוזתו. You shall count off 7 weeks of years, 7 times 7 years, so that the period of 7 weeks of years shall give you a total of 49 years. Then you shall sound the horn loud in the 7th month, on the 10th day of the month, the day of atonement. You shall have the horn sounded throughout the land. And you shall hallow the 50th year. You shall proclaim release throughout the land for all its inhabitants. It shall be a jubilee for you. Each of you shall return your holding, and each of you shall return to your family. The 50th year shall be a jubilee for you, and you shall not sow, neither shall you reap the aftergrowth or harvest the untrimmed vines, for it is a jubilee. It shall be holy to you. You may only eat the growth direct from the field. It is a year of jubilee. Each of you shall return to your holding. And as promised, I will now turn to the second parasha for this week, Parashat Bechukotai. This time I will not read it for you, but I want to highlight one single word, which perhaps gives us a very important idea also how to look forward and how to perceive the world by walking through it. In our parasha, God vows to enact a series of blessings and curses for the Israelites. Blessing if they observed, and curses if they do not. In her interpretation, Rabbi Lisa Exler explains that the blessing are curiously framed by the image of walking. Perhaps before the lockdown, walking has been for many of us our most basic vehicle for navigating the world. Probably we haven't put much thought into it. Usually we are more concerned with where we are going than how we are getting there. And unless we are on a hike or not allowed to walk, we rarely think of walking as an end in itself, accounted among our blessings. So perhaps we can, or better should, engage in this. The second part of our double portion, Behar Bechukotai, for this week opens with God stating the condition for receiving these blessings. Im Bechukotai telechu. If you walk in accordance with my laws and observe and do my commandments, then And the section concludes with God's promise to walk in return. V'hit halachti betochem, and I will walk in your midst, and I will be your God, and you will be my people. The section of blessings that we find in between those two verses, could have ended there, as the final inspiring blessing being one of reciprocal relationship and intimacy between God and the Israelites. What a wonderful image. But it doesn't. Instead, it ends with the following verse, a seemingly unnecessary description of God's role in the Exodus, which significantly also includes the image of walking. Listen, please. I am Adonai your God, who took you out from the land of Egypt, from being their slaves. And I broke the bars of your yoke and made you walk upright. Ve'olech etchem komimiyut. A midrash explains that the word komimiyut, upright, which appears only this once in the Torah, means with a straight spine and unafraid of any creature. In other words, God reminds the Israelites that they are no longer oppressed slaves living in fear, but rather dignified people who can stand tall and walk proudly and are free to choose their own path. The Israelites' ability to walk upright, which they attained through the experience of the Exodus, was the necessary precondition for the other walkings described previously in the text. Walking in accordance with God's law and God's reciprocal walking among the people, bestowing upon them the blessing of rain, food, peace, and fertility. Our Torah portion is so often seen and defamed as a depressing one, as there are so many curses no one likes to hear or read. However, the truth is that the portion contains this wonderful idea that we are a people that can and must be proud of its achievements, and that we walk together with God through time, upright, in dignity, and strong. So, the next time you go for a walk, keep this in mind. Enjoy the blessings in your lives, knowing that you are not walking alone. Shabbat Shalom. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. Be strong, and may we together create strength in each other, in one another. If you want, I ask you all after this service just to look in the Haftarah reading for today. It is Jeremiah 32:6-27. You are all welcome really to read along and to see how our prophet has, what our prophet has to offer in the idea of the Jubilee year. And if you want, there's also the second Haftarah that usually is assigned to Bechukotai, also available just in the Cloud, then on page 861 and the following pages. We will now turn to those who I would consider as at the moment not fully blessed because they are suffering from an illness of the body or of the soul. And by reading out their names, by thinking of them, we hope that this strength that is within us is shared to them, so that they will be hopefully fully restored to their full strength of body and soul. So this morning we remember Arthur Kruger, Claire Cohen, David Kruger, Dennis Rubin, Doreen Greenberg, Elaine Sephora Smith, Helen Burson, Karen Bass, Michelle Roth, Roy Licht, and Ty Jenks. If you have someone who you like also to mention, please add their name into the live chat commentaries to the service on YouTube or on Facebook, or send me or Glynis after the service, after Shabbat, a short message so that we can add them to our list. We will read together on page 371, the blessing, the Mishabera, for those who hopefully will be restored to full strength of body and soul. Just a second. Mishabera Avotenu ve'imotenu Avraham, Yitzchak ve'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel ve'Leah, hu yivarech et hacholim. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abram, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill.
Mishabera Avotenu Mekor Avraham Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishabera imotenu Mekor Avraham Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah Shema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Before we return the Torah in our hearts to the Ark, I just want to use again the opportunity to thank all those who are ensuring that our society is still running as smoothly as possible in this situation. a huge thank you to all those who are out there to help those who are sick, the nurses, the doctors, all the social workers, the counselors. Yes, there are so many people who really make sure that that we are taken care of. So thank you to all of them, and may God bless your amazing work with success and give you health and strength. We hear now Etz Chaim Hi, the Torah is a tree or is a source of life, by our choir, and then we will continue with some announcements, the Aleinu, and of course we will think of those who have passed on. Etz Chaim Hi by our choir, and
Et Chaim Lamachzikim Ba V'tocheha Meushav Teracheha Dafeno V'chol Netivoteha Shalom, Shalom. Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Aminu Kekedem. Etz Chaim Hi Lamachzikim Ba V'chol Netivoteha Shalom, Shalom, Shalom.
So first, some short thoughts, announcements. So this evening, we invite all of you to join us for Havdalah. It is just an open coming together, with a little chat to hear how everyone is doing. So a little schmooze, a virtual schmooze, have something to drink, and then we will do together L'chaim, of course, and we will do Havdalah together. It is at 6:30 p.m., 18:30 this evening. Tomorrow you're all invited for Limud, the Learning Festival is also going online, and all of you are invited to sign up for it. The link here too has been sent out to all of you via WhatsApp and the Atkan. As far as I understood, everyone still can register right after the end of Shabbat. The festival starts tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And as the festival of Shavuot is coming, or is just around the corner, we will dedicate this Thursday evening shiur to the learning about the festival of Shavuot. If you like to join, please send Glynis a message so that she can forward to you the login details for the Zoom session. Of course, you are also all invited to join us again next week on Friday and Saturday for our Shabbat services. It is very important to us to receive feedback, so if you have something you like to share, if you want to say something about the service, you can do that online just by adding something into the live chat, but also if you want, send me an email, send me a WhatsApp. It is helpful to see in which direction we go and we continue to go. If you like to add something to the service by doing a reading or contribute to it, as so wonderfully today, Gideon Leaf did and Leslie Shipton, please do so. You're all allowed to be part of this community because this is your community. Thank you again for listening and for being part of our service. We coming to the concluding part, opening with the Aleinu, to be found on page 586. The Aleinu, please join.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית.
שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם.
שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו, בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום השבותה, אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד.
על כן נקבל לך אדוני אלוהינו לראות מהרה בתפארת עוזך, להעביר גילולים מן הארץ והאלילים קרות יכרתון, לתקן עולם במלכות שדי, וכל בני בשר יקראו בשמך, להבנות אליך כל רשעי הארץ.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
We'll now turn to those who have left this world, many of them way too early, as they were a source of inspiration. But to all of those who have now lost someone, remember that they still remain the source of inspiration. What they have taught you, what they have given to you in your life will not get lost as long as you remember. On page 584 we have a wonderful reading which I like to open with. We will read it responsively, page 584, and then we will read out the names. We will leave space to all of you to remember and to reflect. In the rising of the sun and its going down, we remember them.
In the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter, we remember them.
In the opening of buds and the rebirth of spring, we remember them.
In the blueness of the sky and in the warmth of summer, we remember them.
In the rustling of the leaves and the beauty of autumn, we remember them.
In the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember them.
When we are weary and in the need of strength, we remember them.
When we are lost and sick at heart, we remember them.
When we have joys we yearn to share, we remember them.
So long as we live, they too shall live, for they are now a part of us as we remember them.
On this Shabbat, we remember Bernard Duchen, past chairman of Bet David, Elias Prague, father of Mavis Yavich, We remember Joseph Cohen, father of Lionel Cohen. We remember Elsa Zimmerman, grandmother of Tanya Kowalski, and Joan Alexander, mother of Peter Alexander. Recently passed away Kate Beck, mother of Eugene and grandmother of Cassidy, Darren and Bailey. Alan Jewton, father of Mark Jewton and grandfather of Nathan. Mary Stringfellow, mother of Linda Hillage and grandmother of Lauren Shalem. Anita Simon, grandmother of Terence Tobin. Gillian Donninger, sister-in-law of Dr. Cyril and Pam Donninger. In the past week, left this world Lona Kowalski, mother of Tanya Kowalski and Kevin Kowalski, and grandmother of Max and Rebecca, mother-in-law of Andrew Kemp. Didier Garoich, friend of Clive Hall. Amit Ben Yigdal, the Israeli soldier. Daryl Hurwitz, son of the late Shami Hurwitz, husband of Catalina and father of Victoria. Remember all those 300,000 plus people have died as a result of COVID-19. As this Shabbat included so many blessings, I'd like to end the service not only with once again a big thank you to Giddy, to Leslie and to the choir and to all of you, but also share a wonderful blessing with all of you, a blessing by the Eternal to you. So may God bless you with all that is good, Yivarechecha b'chol tov, and guard you from all that is harmful. May God enlighten your hearts with the wisdom of life and give you understanding of many worlds. May God, in faithful love, offer you enduring peace. Thank you again. Shabbat Shalom. And we conclude with the Adon Olam on page 6 to 5. Thank you for joining us this morning. Shabbat Shalom. See you for Havdalah.
Shabbat Shalom.
Adon Olam Hashem Alav B'terem kol Yetzir Nivra Le'et Nasa B'chetzo לבדו ימלוך נורא, והוא היה והוא הווה, והוא יהיה לתפארה, והוא אחד ואין שני, להמשילו להכבירה, בלי ראשית בלי תכלית, ולא העוז והמשרה, והוא אלי וחי גואלי, וצורכם לי בעת צרה, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, מנחוס לי ביום אקרא, בידו אפקיד רוחי, בתשעת והעירה, ועם רוחי גבייתי, אדוני לי ולא יירא.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.